Who was the guy that was with Fat Joe back in the days?
Big Pun?
Not Big. It was with Big Pun. You know, he had this song. This one's dedicated to the ones who never made it. I hated the fact you faded away. You were the greatest.
Pun.
Who is that? No, it's not Pun. It's the other guy. It's
Tony Sunshine?
No, keep going. You'll say it. It's
Not your boy Raul.
I say this prayer to never respect you, but to
Part of the Terror Squad?
Oh my God, what is this guy's name? It's such a great.
Not Nori.
I'll figure out who
Tony
it is.
Sunshine,
Someone's going to
Cuban
watch
Link.
this and they're going to comment below. We'll find out who it is. Well, did you ever do anything with Fat Joe?
What? I made like some of the biggest records for Fat Joe possible. I did Lean Back.
Yeah.
I did Make It Rain. I did like a lot of
Holy
shit with
shit.
Joe. Yeah, I mean, like Joe changed the face of my career too, because I was not putting a tag on my records. I was not like produced by Scott Storch or
Yeah.
shit like that. But I'm doing every fucking song in the world, and like Lean Back comes and he's like, Scott Storch.
Yeah.
Bro,
Oh,
cheese
within the first
lines
7 seconds.
outside
Yeah, exactly.
my door.
That's what he said in the video.
Cheese lines.
Cheese lines outside a door. Yeah. That's what he said. So you guys were close. You guys, yeah. Where do you put him? Where do you put him on the list?
He's dope. I mean, he's dope. It's kind of like unfair that he's not looked at as even bigger than he is. I mean, people respect him, but like being a Latino rapper at some point, like it was like a handicap in itself. Like it didn't matter how fucking dope you were, because motherfuckers were just like there's a lot of fucking like weird things about the music business, you know.
So Fat Joe, I don't know your relationship with him these days, but there's a lot of hip hop beef. You know, obviously it started with Tupac and Biggie and everything, and then Nas, Jay-Z.
Well, he's a big in the as a personality now, and like
Fat
when
Joe.
you have an opinion, sometimes people like.
Well, 50 Cent, I think, him. Who does he have beef with? Is 50 Cent?
He
have
used
beef with
to.
him?
All his fires have been put out.
Really?
It was Hove
Yeah.
and 50, and now he's cool with all of them.
What's your take on just hip hop beef in general? I mean, the biggest beef of the last year was Kendrick and Drake. Is this
not
manufactured? Is this real?
This is
What's
the
your take?
fucking WWF, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, put it this way, there was I forget who it was that was telling me like, yo, 50's coming at me on some shit, like he's like really fucking like tearing me up, this and that. And apparently 50 called to him, he's like, oh, because no, he got in touch with me, he's like, why are you doing this to me? He's like, I'm trying to throw you a bone, bro. I'm trying to get you some shine, like.
50 saying this to you?
No, to this person.
Oh, gotcha.
That's the story I heard. I don't know for sure,
Yeah.
but like that he was like dissing somebody, and the person that he was dissing called Fifth, like, why are you doing this? He's like, bro, I'm trying to help you. Like, any publicity is good publicity. Like, I'm giving you a shot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what these beefs, a lot of them are out. Now, there's legitimate beefs, obviously.
What do you think is the most legitimate beef? I think like Lil Wayne and Birdman had some court stuff going on, suing. What's the realest beef?
I mean, like, that's a label artist beef. That's not like rapper to rapper beef, even though the label was a rapper.
Birdman.
But there's more, that's family. That's like a father and son. I did a song for these two, for Wayne and Birdman, called You Ain't Know. I'm actually in the video playing piano. It was like we were dressed up like gangsters and shit.
Cuban Link is who I was talking about. Do you remember Cuban Link?
Oh, yeah, Cuban Link.
Yeah, Cuban Link. That's
Oh, yeah,
the
they
song.
had beef. That didn't end right. That was not,
It wasn't?
No, that was some problems there. But somebody else recently just tried to like fuck with Joe and take advantage of him. Somebody that was like a hype man for him claimed to be like the writer on songs and shit and trying to sue Joe.
You said Tommy Mottola earlier. Did you have a relationship with Tommy?
Yeah, it's funny. That house that Diddy like lives in, like I was there to visit Tommy at one point.
I mean, he's a legend.
The first time I met Tommy, Sony Music Studios in New York, I was like a little kid in the Roots and like didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I walked into the wrong lounge, and it was him talking to some like Asian guy that probably owned Sony or whatever. And he gave me the dirtiest look, like he was about to fucking bite my ear off. I was like, oh shit. But then later down the road, he invited me to come to that house when he had first bought it, and he was with Talia. This was right after.
She's great. She's great.
And the same party place at the edge of that property on Star Island, that's like a temple, kind of gazebo kind of thing, whatever. It wasn't like that. It was an office outside. And it looked like something that Sosa from fucking Scarface with him. And he's at this sick ass, probably $300,000 table with a home phone, and like it's like outside. This whole office is set up outside, and he's like doing his thing out there with a cigar, showing me his cars and shit. But hey, whatever. Tommy Mottola.
Legend.
He made a lot of money.
For a lot of people.
Yeah, and for himself.
Yeah, for sure.
At the hands of Sony. Like there was like, you know, a lot of people like made like, I mean, if I'm really gonna talk, like motherfuckers, like they would found a way to take budgets down, these guys. Like I'm just being real, like everybody knows this shit. He had a partner, Corey Rooney, that was producing. And it's a crazy story. I'm glad I mentioned that. Okay, I have to go there. If we're on the fucking blacklist today,
Go for it.
all right. So, but yeah, like these guys, they would get all the shit. Like they would eat up all the budgets of like the quarterly like budget that they would get. You know, Sony, Columbia, this, that, the other. One day, I had a house on Pine Tree Drive that I made into a studio. I had
Miami Beach.
Yeah, 63rd and Pine Tree. I had 2 studios in there. I had the board from Saturday Night Live, the SSL, or the Neve, whatever it was. And I get a call from this guy, Kenny Commissar, who's big record executive. And he's like, J-Lo wants to come over. I'm like, amazing. I want to work with her. Like, cool, amazing. This is dope. So J-Lo comes over, but now it's like damn near a hurricane going on. Power goes out. So I'm like, oh yeah, I got this new car. It was like the first one in America. I had the Phantom. And like, I was like, let's listen to music in my Phantom. Pouring rain. She's loving every fucking thing I'm playing. Or she's like, that's the shit. Da, da, da. I remember her hand on my leg and like, just I was like, oh fuck, this J-Lo is sitting in my passenger seat loving my fucking music. I'm a little fucking like Jewish white boy from fucking Sunrise and shit. Like, what the fuck? Nob Hill and shit. At any rate, I could hear a knock on my window. I'm like, what the fuck? Kenny's like, Jennifer, we gotta go. I'm like, what do you mean we gotta go? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You brought her here. He's like, no, we gotta go right now. 15 minutes later, I got a call from him like, my bro, I'm so sorry. They told me I was fired if I didn't get her out of there. Wanna know why? Because there's only so many songs and the budget on these albums, and I was taking away real estate in that little game that these guys had going on that took Sony out for 200 and change million. I'm laying some secrets out for y'all today, bro. This is all real talk. But yeah, I was like, man, that's fucked up, bro. I was like so hurt by that shit. That shit was supposed to go to Tommy and Corey. And I was not getting it. Not, fuck that. Scott's not getting in her ear. Real talk. That was one of my fucking like realizations that there's so much bullshit in fucking every industry. There's a hustle to every facet. I mean, this cup right here probably has 10 hustles to the business behind it. It's business.
Busta Rhymes.
One of the only people to check on me. You know, like everybody's like pointing the finger, oh, Scott's fucked up now, this and that, da, 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 da. He was like, only person who called me and be like,
Wow.
I made money for all these people and they just walked away and said, Scott's a piece of shit. He's like, yo, bro, are you all right? I wasn't. I was like, yeah, I'll be all right. You know what I mean? Addiction's a motherfucker. Nobody cared, bro. I bought like all my homies Bentleys out of love, like because I wanted them to be like me. And they all disappeared when the party was over. It was like, but that's a gift too, because you get to see who your real friends are. And those 2, 3 people that were left standing there making sure I was cool. Busta was one of them people that, I mean, we weren't that close, but he's also my first client when I left the Roots that believed in me. He was my very first client that hired me. I remember we were like going up and down like fucking all the labels in New York. Took this trip from Philly to New York and trying to play music for A&Rs. The first one to bite was Busta. But yeah, he's the only person that really fucking called and was like, bro, you all right, man? Nobody gave a shit.
Out of everybody in the industry, when you were going through your worst of your worst and you were dealing with the recovery, the only person that reached out was Busta? There was nobody else?
Joe, somewhat. You know,
Fat Joe?
yeah, he never I mean, I didn't get the call, but I mean, I knew he cared.
Do you think that's because of you and your reputation, or is that just the business? It's all fake. It's all a facade. You ain't really friends.
If you ain't hot, you ain't hot. Hey, what's going on? I'm Scott Storch, and you might have seen me on the PBD podcast, and you might have some questions you want to ask me. I'm available on the Manette app, and you can ask me about pretty much anything, music, industry stuff, you know, my life and my history, or, you know, anything technical questions with music, equipment, whatever, production techniques. Check it out, Manette.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.